But pop was without form. Then appeared the boy band. Pure pop perfection incarnate. They are pop's perfect vessel, the perfect men, the perfect bodies, the perfect harmonies. They appear before us as an immaculate conception, seemingly descended from pop heaven. Dreamboat disciples chosen and sent to spread pop's gospel to legions of screaming girls. But what mysterious elements and alchemy form these magical pop entities? How do they work, and what's it like to be in one? Welcome to the magical world of the boy band.
You're a boy band if you are a band of boys.
5 young lads that just sing together.
It is a team. When you're on stage, you're thinking about, I want to kick some ass.
It's a ball of energy, and it's fun to look at and watch, and sometimes it's as fun to watch it fall apart.
The boy band is a tried and tested pop phenomenon. The original prototypes are to be found in the self-formed male vocal groups and beat combos of the 60s.
Boy bands have always been around. You think of the Four Tops, Jackson 5.
The Beatles even, you know, they're all boy bands really.
I think we did set a standard that even nowadays groups have started to follow.
But there have always been people seeking to simulate these pop pioneers. The boy band can also be a carefully manufactured beast.
It's alive! It's alive!
I always imagine the record company sit round in a boardroom and go, right, we need 5 people of this age, there's their songs, there's their clothes, and go find them.
Whatever the era, however they met, what makes these different bands of boys boy bands?
It's all about girls. Girls, 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 and if girls like them, you've got a hit on your hands.
It's a way for young girls to explore their sexuality safely, I think. You're looking in a boy band for the same things that you're looking for in a pony, kind of with nice clear eyes and a good coat.
Our prime purpose is to sing love songs to girls.
This is definitely a sexual thing. There's no doubt about that.
I don't know what would happen if there weren't boy bands there for that excess female sexual energy to be channeled into. It might just be bedlam.
Good-looking boys, sometimes put together, making girls scream and singing in harmony.
Hi there, folks, how do you do? We're mighty glad to be here with you.
These seem to be the eternal characteristics of a boy band. It's been a winning combination throughout pop history. So why has boy band become a dirty word?
We didn't think we were a boy band. That term, boy band, I just don't get.
Even the label said you're not a boy band.
You're not a boy band, is that right?
I'd say we're a pop band.
We're a pop band.
We're a pop band.
Just because we're 5 teenagers who are the same sex doesn't necessarily mean that we're a boy band. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Stop being dicks. Embrace what you are, you know what I mean? Like, and people will think you're more rad.
So who joins a boy band, if we are allowed to call it that, and why? Where does the journey begin? For many, it seems there is an early craving for the spotlight. Any spotlight.
As a child, I had an ambition to be somebody, because I remember one question I asked myself, almost the first thing I remember, says, who am I and why am I here?
If I'm honest, I never really thought I would be in pop music. I wanted to be an actor, and I kind of went to acting school.
I've done a few bits and bobs for TV. I was on Casualty, I was on Howlin' Pace.
Must be better ones around. Come on!
I got a job at Granada Television in Coronation Street.
Clean out, sir!
Nothing unless you're not. Have you seen it out there?
I started acting and singing in pantomimes and things like that. I did Coronation Street, I did Z-Cars.
Yes, Willie Thatcher.
Have you got a shilling for the gasman Mars out of them?
So all of a sudden I'm watching the Beatles sing 6 tunes on the Ed Sullivan Show, and I think, I want to do that. I want all those girls screaming for me. I thought I was doing well with 10, 15 people outside the stage door.
Woke up this morning feeling fine. There's something special on my mind.
This appetite for adulation often leads our future heartthrobs to the wonderful world of pop in search of stardom.
Something tells me I'm into something good. Something tells me I'm into
So how does a wannabe star join a boy band? Back in the 60s, the DIY method was a favourite route in.
I decided pretty soon that I was going to go full on for a music career. And I saw the Beatles and I found 4 idiots who believed that I knew what I was doing. Although there wasn't really a plan except that we wouldn't go to school and we wouldn't have jobs and we would practice 1 song a day, every day, until we could be as good as the Beatles.
Then there was the family route. For 5 brothers growing up in 1960s Indiana, the journey to boy band immortality began when a strict father discovered a hidden talent.
The beginning of our music career happened when my father had a guitar and he used to play it, and then he put it in the closet because he had to go to work.
He would tell the brothers while he's at work, don't touch his guitar.
Tito one day started taking the guitar and playing it and messing around with it. And then one day, one of the strings broke. And he kind of panicked and he put it back, and my father came home and he's saying, who's been playing my guitar? Because the string is broken. So Tito was a little petrified at first.
He beat my butt for it and that whole thing. And then afterwards, he put it in my lap and asked me, he said, now show me what you know. So I was playing and crying, and he was surprised that I knew as much as I did. So the next day he took me out to a pawn shop and bought me my first guitar. And I've been playing since and singing with the brothers.
Oh, darling, all I need is one more chance. Surely that love you. Won't you please let me back in your heart? Oh, darling, I need one more chance. I see you're gonna love you, baby. Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, I want you back.
These are the organic templates of boy band formation, a model of brotherhood and male friendship pioneered by the likes of the Beatles, the Temptations, and the Osmonds. But not all boy bands grow up in houses together. Nowadays, they are often thrust together while in search of individual stardom. With X Factor boy band graduates One Direction, we saw this theory played out before our eyes.
We all kind of entered the show as individuals.
We all were waiting for the decision to see which solo artist would go through each other's houses. We all got no's.
That's it, guys. Really, really sorry.
And then like 5 minutes later, we were called back on stage. And Simon said, we want to put you in a group.
You've got a real shot here, guys.
That's what makes you beautiful.
Whether manufactured or not, perhaps joining a boy band provides the aspiring pop star with strength in numbers?
My father explained it by saying, you're strong together. And he took 5 sticks and he put them together and tried to break them, and they wouldn't break. And then he took one of the sticks and put them apart. He snapped it and he said, this is what will happen if you don't stay together. You can be broken.
Can it really be as simple as that? Boy times 3, 4 or 5 equals greater chance of stardom. There can be no weak links in the manufactured boy band because chasing stardom often requires some brutal sacrifices.
the 5 audition come up. Simon Cowell stands there and he says, you're going to live in a house together from next week. He said, you can't tell anyone. You've just got to go along with this. Do you want to be in this band? We all said, yeah. All that I could tell was my parents. I got home and my mates, how did it go? Oh, I don't know yet. But a week later, I'd left all my friends behind and I hadn't told us all. It was horrible. Horrible.
These first baby steps to stardom can be a lonely experience. But forming or joining a boy band is just the start. Getting noticed is always a new act's first hurdle. For the Osmonds in the early 60s, this meant cornering the cute spot on the Andy Williams show.
There's the camera. Oh no, there it is over there.
When we came and auditioned for Andy, it was like, wow.
Yes, sir, we declare that she is mighty sweet.
Sitting on the steps, singing harmony that was buzzing at such a young age.
Sir, that's my baby, no, sir, don't be maybe.
And America just wanted to hear more of it.
By the early 90s, more complicated times meant the boy band was having to find new ways to get itself noticed.
How do you get this band across? How do you build up a fan base? I came up with this idea of doing a schools tour.
For Teenage Take That, this meant performing in bad shorts to school kids by day.
And we are Take That!
Then heading out in leather-studded codpieces to pursue the Pink Pound at night.
We obviously were targeting the young girls in schools for all the reasons that boy bands would target young girls. And we're obviously targeting gay men.
After Take That had found their feet, a newly formed group from Ireland would take their first fledgling steps.
They are going to be, or 4 of them are going to be, Ireland's answer to Take That.
We were really catapulted into fame in Ireland. Within 24 hours of being picked, we were on the biggest TV chat show in the country.
Okay, well, who is who now? You identify yourself.
I'm Ronan Keating.
Ronan Keating, where are you from?
I'm from Swords. We didn't have a song, obviously, because we were only put together 24 hours before. We went on this TV show and we danced.
Cue the music, then. Let's hear it.
Burn, baby, all my energy. Burn, baby, burn.
There was no real choreography. It looked like a bunch of guys in the corner of a nightclub having a good time. It was chaos. If you watch that front row in the audience, it's hilarious because they're just sitting there going, oh my God.
It's cringe, it's so horrible.
And we all thought we were superstars. I had a part-time job in a shoe shop, and I remember walking down the street the next day, and I was like, hey, did you see me last night? Hey, did you see me last night? Hey. And I was on like, hey, it's me, yeah. I mean, moron. Egypt. But it's brilliant, it's funny.
But what does it take for a boy band to move beyond these humble beginnings of auditions and chat shows? Since the dawn of pop, many have searched for a magic formula. What complex chemistry is at work? What are the essential elements that make up a truly great boy band?
A lot of boy bands are manufactured. Whoever does, end up putting them together, they need to be clever in the way that they put them together, that all the members bring something different. Having a group of clones in a band together, it doesn't work.
There has to be characters, there has to be individuals that'll come forward.
It's been a hard day's night.
The importance of having strongly defined characters can be traced back to 4 lads from Liverpool who took a stranglehold on the world's imagination in the early 60s.